Hello everyone and welcome to the second stop of the 2017 Disc Golf Pro Tour. We're right here with the action in Waco, Texas with our feature card. Let's get to it.
All right everybody, let's give a big hand for our feature card for the 2017 Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. Up first on the tee, we've got Addison "The Tank" Collins.
And Addison Collins was first to tee. He's found himself OB on the left side, left of the sidewalk.
Third on the team, representing Disc Mania, we've got Eagle Keep On Dreamin' McMahon.
Eagle McMahon third to tee.
Rounding out our card, representing Latitude 64 and the 2016 World Champion, Wysocki.
And Ricky Wysocki, your current world champion, on the tee here on hole number 7. Park job by Wysocki to open the round. Earlier today, we had our featured card of women. Let's see what they did on their opening hole of the tournament. And Addison has thrown his approach shot here, the lefty forehand flick, as he went OB to the left side here of the sidewalk. Thank you everyone for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon. We are here in Waco, Texas. We are starting off on what is the Beast course and what is known as the regular hole 7. We're going to be slightly off. And Addison has thrown numbered throughout the entire weekend here as the course starts on hole 7 and ends on hole 6 for this weekend's event. McMahon easily in for birdie. Lizotte taking his full meter in from the OB. Addison starting with a bogey 4, and Ricky Wysocki starting with a 3-foot putt for birdie. Quick and easy on our first hole of the event. We're moving on to the second hole in just a few moments.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flash Flight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
Oh, I nailed that tree.
good, Chad. You can peel off. Not many chains required. Bottom right corner pocket. Right, Simon?
Good enough.
Good enough. And after a little bit of a shaky start here, Addison said after his last approach shot, he said, all right, let's go. I think he's calmed his nerves and he's ready to go. And Eagle will tap in. We've got a brief walk over to our third hole. We'll be back with you in just a few moments right here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And Lizotte opts for the high, wide right hyzer and sticks the landing. Wysocki taking the same route, however, he's just a bit on the right side. This 294-foot par 3. And a nice shot by Eagle McMahon. The lefty Addison is up to tee fourth. And going up the center, but getting a wide skip left is Addison. We saw the women compete here on the third hole of the day. Let's check in with them now as we move down the fairway of hole number 9. and Simon Lizotte from a few steps inside the circle. I'd like to let everyone know I'm going to have a co-host here joining me, Cameron Freimark. Cameron, you've been doing MC duties, and now we're out here watching some golf. Ricky puts in, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm tired, but I'm doing very well.
You've been very busy. I know you're a jack of all trades, putting on a lot of different hats and performing a lot of different tasks out here. We're here. It's finally the last card of the day, and Addison is in, and I think we're going to see you guys on the next hole. We'll get more from you in just a moment.
Thanks.
We're moving on to our fourth hole.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flashlight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Dude, foot fault.
What?
Move your foot, dude. Foot fault.
Sorry.
Get it anywhere close, it stops on a dime basically.
Looks like you got a little cut roll even.
Yeah.
Doss going back to that TI Buzz.
It's tough to have a good putt long.
Gotcha. Doss going TI Buzz.
Just the perfect height. See, missing left there is not bad because it gets stopped just like you see there. So
there you go. Yeah. The Joe.
At
Disc Golf Center, we strive to provide the best customer service and value. With our live inventory of over 20,000 discs, we have the widest selection and the best prices. Check out discgolfcenter.com to see what we have to offer, including free shipping within the United States on all orders over $12 and a customer rewards program that gets better over time. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am now joined officially here by our co-host and extraordinaire here doing all sorts of things, Cameron Frymark. Cameron, first of all, I'm saying welcome to the broadcast, but I feel so welcomed here in Waco. What is it about this place?
It's probably the water, I think they say, but no, it's a unique culture here. We're halfway between Austin and Dallas, and you get a neat mix of people that wind up settling here. It's a really fun place to be, and we're glad that you're enjoying it. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Again, the golf seems tremendous. There's a course located literally just across the river that we're standing next to, and we're here on the Beast. Tell us how this course came about.
It's one of the more difficult courses in Texas, and you know, it came about through a lot of hard work. The back nine is completely carved out of super thick woods, and the front nine has just been a labor of love of figuring out how to make it as hard as possible, so with being pretty open. And across the river is our really fun course. Everybody really enjoys that, Cameron Park West.
Well, I know I came in yesterday. We played our first basket game, which means anytime you come to a new area, the first time you spot any basket, you have to yell it out. But we were on the wrong course, so we got to play the game twice here yesterday. We're moved into the woods here. This is the regular hole 10, if you were out here playing on a typical weekend. But the next 9 holes, as you said, are carved in and out of the woods?
That is correct. You have very tight fairways. Off is rough. You're not finding cactuses or anything like that, but you don't want to be in that area. Often if you wind up in that area, you'll be tossing out. You know, the fairways are wide enough that you have some good shots and good lines, but you need to keep it in the fairway and often throw long in the fairway too.
Well, some of the longest throwers in the game, Eagle McMahon, Simon Lizotte, Ricky Wysocki on the card, and then local Addison. I don't know too much about him. What can you tell us?
He's a cheating lefty, and he can throw really far. He's got a good 450-foot, 500 arm if he's on. He's got a great putt. He's an amateur world doubles champion along with our TD Ryan Draper. They played together, and he's a solid, really good guy. We're happy to see him playing.
All right, well, we're catching up with the second card. The first card, our featured card, is going to be able to tee off in the next few minutes. We're going to get into better position, so enjoy the action from both the second card and then our feature card in just a few moments. Let's get back to it right here in Waco, Texas.
Ideally, the shot's going to come inside this cockpit and land there. But Addison's the lefty, and if he flicks this one.
Lizotte first to tee here on the very wooded hole number 10. Ricky with a favorable kick into the left center fairway. And Eagle McMahon coming all the way down the center of the fairway, getting to just about the prime landing zone. This hole will prove a little bit more difficult for the lefty, although Addison seems to have a great-looking forehand, and that comes in nicely and finds himself just behind the other blue disc. All right, we'll be back with a moment. We'll check in with our featured card of women right here on hole number 10.
Shot.
And welcome back. You are watching the second card complete the hole here on number 10. There are in fact two groups on this fairway at the moment. What do you think about the position that we've seen for the first four drives here?
I think Eagles looks fantastic. that Simons and Addison's are still in an open spot to where they can either get a turnover, or Addison, it's easy backhand for him from there, so they're looking fine. Ricky's going to have a little bit of work to do, but I think his sidearm suits him well for that shot.
And Ricky catches the tree on the right side. Looked like he had very good velocity and movement on it, however, squared up right with that tree.
Yeah, I just needed to get a little bit more left, and it would have gone all the way down there. That was a good shot, but got caught up.
Interesting approach. See the lefty forehand roller here. Simon joking about a I don't even know if I could call that a local route. That'd be silly. Simon opts for the inside the initial tree. Did he get through cleanly?
He did not. Ricky with the forehand up to the basket. That should be good. Oh, and he's parked.
McMahon yet to throw his second shot. McMahon just 3, maybe 5 feet in front of Ricky's. We'll see if he takes a similar approach to it or not.
Yeah, there's kind of a low ceiling here, and there's a drop-off behind the basket. It'd be good if you could just lay it up there with a putter. Oh, that got a little wide. There's still a look at a putt in there.
And Lizotte finds himself on the right-hand side, still very much caught up in the rough. This was a little nastier than I could tell from back at his previous lie.
And that's only a couple of feet in, and he's going to have to get creative on this.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, and he got a little caught up on his way in. He's still going to have a, looks like a just inside the second circle putt.
And speaking of the second circle, we talk about Circle 1 and Circle 2 frequently here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Circle 1 being the 10-meter circle. Your very accustomed to, circle 2 being double that at 20 meters, approximately 66 feet, indicated by the blue flags, the circle 1 indicated by red flags.
And a great shot up by Addison. He's going to have an easy putt from there.
And solid right chain from 48 feet. Somewhat dejected Simon Lizotte, knowing it was so close. Wysocki's looking at 36, maybe 37 feet. What kind of danger's behind that basket?
Oh, there's a drop-off, and then the Brazos River's down there. It's shallow if he needs to get in there, but hopefully he won't.
And even after a little tickle of the low-hanging branches, Wysocki finds the chains. That's a circle 2 putt recorded by Wysocki. And McMahon also from the same distance, just a few steps outside of the circle 1, a little bit more obstructed and a straddle.
Yeah, and that left side, you got to hit those baskets in the center to get him to stick.
And the group will tap in. We've got a brief walk over to another par 3 in just a few moments. We'll be back right here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Ooh, that was a bit of a yank on that one. Luckily kicked out, and he should have still got a good look at an upshot from there, but probably not a 2. That looks beautiful.
Very nice.
And just buzzing past the basket is Eagle McMahon's drive here on hole number 11.
Addison flipping a buzz up the gut. He's going to be a little bit right, but he's going to be in the circle up there.
And Lizotte seems to be hyzering out, hoping for the right kick. We're going to move up hole number 11. Let's see what the feature card from the women did earlier today. And we've made it to the elevated green, also a little bit of an opening area in these very wooded holes. Ricky directing traffic. Ricky is just a few inches inside the circle. Looks like Eagle will be first to putt from outside circle's edge. Great putt by Eagle McMahon. That's going to be for birdie 2. Solid par save by Ricky Wysocki. Funny note, just before Ricky was about to take his position, a young fan came up, no older than 5 or 6, maybe 7 years old, and asked for an autograph by Ricky. Ricky obliged and gave the autograph, however, not the right time to be doing it as someone's trying to save their par on short par 3.
Yeah, real class act on Ricky by doing that, but perhaps a little bit inappropriate. But good on him.
And Lizotte lets one slip by him here as he putts from inside the circle. And high left, but in for Addison. That might get him on the train. We're going to have a brief walk over to the next hole. We'll be back in a few moments from right here in Waco, Texas. And Eagle McMahon opts for the up and over thumber. And it looks like he's going to be left just inside circle 2. The natural backhand lefty hyzer here for Addison. Patented forehand shot here by Wysocki. That looks to be a great line coming down. Just skips past the basket on the edge of the circle. And a misfire here by Lizotte. He's short and left. He's got a little bit of work to do as he smiles and gives a gesture to Eagle. We'll move down the fairway right here on hole number 12. And Simon Lizotte from way outside circle 2. That had to be close to 85, maybe 90 feet. Simon Lizotte with some heroics from the left side fairway. Dead center. What'd you think of that?
That looked great the whole way, and the crowd loved it. That was awesome.
And Simon Lizotte from way outside.
And a much loftier attempt there by Eagle McMahon.
Yeah, that tailed off a little bit too much at the end, but we'll see if he can pick it up for the next hole.
Wysocki has gone past the basket. He's got a little bit of a gap here. He's going to move to one knee from approximately 20-some feet. He's got to wait for the gallery to settle down. A little girl and her father just walked by a moment ago, right in Ricky's line. Slightly impeded and came up short.
Yeah, it looked like he putted it a little bit nose down. It didn't quite get it up.
Addison with the birdie as we hear an ice cream truck coming by. These guys are worried about birdies. I've got other things on my mind. Pair of pars and a pair of birdies. We're moving on to the next hole. We'll be back in a few moments. And we're back here on hole number 13, a par 4, 460 feet. And first to throw was Addison with a great flip up turnover. Second to throw will be Simon Lizotte.
Yeah, this hole offers some eagle opportunities to the big arms, and I hope we get a good look at that today. Well, that was a little tight, but he's out in the open and he'll have an easy up shot from there. This would be an easy 3 for him. Just a layup out to the open. If they really want to attack the basket, the shot's a hyzer flip up, and they can get down to the ravine and have a look at a long putt for 2.
Let's see what the women did earlier here on hole 13. After being out in the open, Lizotte has a turnover there. He's going to be short. It's not really an up and down for birdie from there.
I think he's going to be about 70 feet flat. He may have a look at it, but it's going to be a tough one.
This is one of the more open holes found out here on the back half of the course. This hole, of course, starts with the tunnel shot out into this open area and then finishes on a slightly sloped green after they go over a ravine. Very challenging hole, offers quite a few shots.
Yeah, you can do the turnover flick shot out that can get all the way down there, or a hyzer flip. This is actually the one hole in the course that has never changed through all of the redesigns. It's one of my favorites personally.
Well, it must be a great hole if it's withstood the test of time here. And Ricky going right over the basket, trying to dial it in from long range here. He'll have to just settle for a simple birdie 3. And this gives Eagle a chance to be somewhat aggressive. He comes up right of the pin by just a few feet. It's a slight upward slope. You don't really want to catch metal and have it roll, but you could be a little bit aggressive going right at the chains with that hillside behind you.
Sure, yeah, that's a common shot. If you go past it, you're still not too bad because of the slope.
And after a great drive, Addison's got a very simple approach. Again, after his approach, we find Simon Lizotte short of the basket. However, I think he'd rather be up on this upper slope because he's on the same level as the basket. Drawing metal again, his had the same height as the basket, however comes up just short. We have to walk through the ravine. We'll be back in just a moment right here on the back half. And Wysocki seeing what he can or can't move here. Seems to be a little bit of bush and obstruction behind him. However, he's trying to find a legal stance. And a death putt here by Wysocki, still very firm, right side and in. As the wind picks up, Addison's lefty putt is in. Eagle will tap out, and we're going to move on to the next hole. Feel the wind picking up. We're heading right back into the woods. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here from Waco, Texas, and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Cameron, I got to admit, I never thought I'd see a 200-foot hole, 213-foot hole in Texas. What happened?
We work with what we've got here. It's still a pretty challenging fairway. You know, left and right, there's a slope behind the basket. This is a tough one to navigate.
And with a standstill approach, Simon goes just past the basket. Ricky Wysocki's third to tee. Wysocki with a overstable forehand. And just to be very clear, I'm a big fan of the 213 footers. Plenty of obstacles here for Simon. And a left short for Simon. We've got the women from here on hole 14. We'll be back in a moment.
There you go.
And welcome back as we are joined by Addison, who will be throwing his second shot from just outside circle 2.
That's a good little skip down the hill. We're going to see how much that rolled, but he may be looking at a circle's edge putt from there.
And we also, while we were watching the women, we saw Simon Lizotte, who had hit a tree short and left. He approached and should be next to the basket here. He'll be tapping in for a par 3. So Simon Lizotte did throw his approach shot as you were watching the women play this hole. Ricky Wysocki finds himself at 38 feet just outside of circle 1. He's sloped behind the basket. I'm guessing he'll still be firm and aggressive with this putt.
Right off the top of the band, but that's settled down nicely. He's going to want that 2 back, but he'll have to settle for 3 here.
And you mentioned that after Addison has thrown his second shot that it may roll away, and it looks like it's done just that. That looks to be even outside of circle 1's edge. We'll have to see. It's even if he's just inside it, it's definitely going to be obstructed. Looks like Eagle McMahon is very obstructed as well.
There may be a little bit of a window in there, but he's going to have to navigate it carefully.
I'd like to go ahead and again apologize for any time I may mix up Simon and Eagle's names. I've been told that I may have misspoke once or twice here today. They travel together, they both throw far, both play for Discmania, and I make mistakes, so I do apologize, of course. No disrespect to either of them, of course. And Eagle utilizing all full 30 seconds here of his time. He's really obstructed there. He can't find a good stance, and the window that he has looks to be pretty small.
Just caught on a branch. He's going to be about 12 feet out there, but and he's going to miss that one too.
And a heartbreaker there as Addison's putt looked to be in. I was just about to count it. Time stood still for a moment, and then it just leaked out the left side. Very quick to putt is Eagle McMahon, certainly frustrated that finding himself within 30 feet of the pin, however not able to take the birdie. And this hole playing much tougher. In fact, 0 birdies on this 213-foot hole. Not what you would have expected. we're moving on. We'll be back in a few moments from Waco, Texas. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm joined by my co-commentator, Cameron Frymark. And Cameron, just to be very clear, I said that last hole was relatively short, and it was by any standards. However, plenty of difficulty, and we saw 0 birdies netted by these top 4 players.
Yeah, it's fairly common to not get birdies on that short hole. I mean, this is the beast, and so that left side is tight. It's awful off the left side. The right side, there's lots of trees to kick off, and there's that hill to contend with, and so that wasn't totally surprising, but we thought maybe if you guys would pull it out. Honestly, I was behind a tree when Addison made his putt, and it sounded in to me, so sorry, buddy.
Well, just slipped out. We've got a large backup that's taking place here. This is one of the more challenging holes out here, so not really a surprise. However, we've got a new segment that we've just introduced. It's Know Your Pro. I caught up with Eagle McMahon just yesterday. He's got some great insights for us. We want you to know our players a little bit better, and this is a great way to do it. We'll be back with you after these words and Know Your Pro with Eagle McMahon.
I'm Eagle McMahon, 18 years old, from Boulder, Colorado. Just try to have a positive outlook. I mean, everywhere I go, it's just kind of a really cool experience, and I'm just really happy to be doing what I'm doing, and just happy to be who I am and have a positive outlook. I was 9 years old, and my dad's friend actually got us into disc golf, me and my dad at the same time. So just for the first few months, we took it kind of just basic disc golf, game that we just went out to play. It was all fun and games, and then got introduced to the power grip, and then it was all on the up and up from there. Started playing local leagues, and just built from there, and here I am now. What really hooked me was my mom died when I was 9, pretty much right when I got into disc golf. So it just really kind of acted as something for me to bond with my dad. So for a long time, that was kind of our thing. I think we played like, 200 days in a row just together. So it was really special. I think that's kind of what got me hooked, just spending time with my family. I mean, it was just kind of to keep my mind off of it, really. I mean, just spending time with them, just bonding, really, just trying to get better at something, just really kind of took my mind off of all that was going on, and I'm really grateful for the game coming into my life, because I don't know what it would have been like without that. I mean, I could be traumatized. I think it really helped me get over that. I mean, we talk every day on the phone, and he's my #1 fan, so he's always checking the scores and like telling me what he thinks I did wrong. I mean, he knows my game pretty much better than anyone else. So, I mean, just him being the sports fan and father that he is, he's very analytical of my game, and I don't know, it's just really special being able to talk to him. I really don't even know what to say to that, because she died at an age where I kind of didn't know what was going on for the most part. I kind of knew what kind of person she was. I think she'd be proud as well as she'd also make fun of me at the same time. I'm kind of known for doing my vlogs and stuff like that, but I think it just I don't know. It's something that I just enjoy doing, really. I like posting to Instagram every day, kind of taking artsy style pictures, putting together a video diary just to kind of look back on. A lot of my family watch it back home, just kind of, I don't know, it's just something that I can express myself out, put in the log just so I can look back on. I mean, I don't know, it's just something that I feel like sets me apart from other players. I mean, it's definitely helped me grow up just from an early age. I mean, just going on the course every day, there's not too many kids involved, so I was kind of forced to be around older people, more mature people, and I don't know, I think that's kind of made me mature in a different way than most kids, and it definitely, there's ways that I'm still a child because I'm playing essentially a game as a living, so I mean, there's kind of, it balances out in a way. I mean, this is always a problem that I've kind of had once I had a great performance and then kind of got into a slump. I mean, I used to have to go like get all new discs, get a new bag and completely reset, and I still do that to a certain extent sometimes. I mean, probably change my putters, switch out some discs, and just kind of reset. I mean, when I'm feeling good, I'm practicing 30 footers. When I feel bad, I'm practicing 10 footers, just kind of building myself back up and just kind of giving myself positive affirmations in general. I mean, probably after I get off a bad round, I don't want to be around anyone in general, but then I kind of talk to myself and like, okay, it's fine, it's just one round of disc golf, there's another round coming, there's another tournament, everyone's going to forget about this event someday. Just go talk to people and have fun. There's no point in being down all the time. Interests outside of disc golf. I mean, it's very easy to get sidetracked now because I'm touring full time and there's not really too many opportunities to do other things. I mean, even when I have downtime, it still feels like I'm playing disc golf because I'm on social media answering questions from a lot of people, which are all disc golf related. But when I'm off the course, not doing anything, what am I doing? I'm probably just talking to my family, listening to music, and definitely vegan food. That's kind of what I'm known from, the vegan disc golfer. Just kind of going around finding cool vegan spots. I'm kind of a foodie in that sense. Bucket list this year: win a major, national tour, or pro tour event. I don't know about ending my touring career at this moment because I still have a lot that I want to accomplish. And to move somewhere, I mean, I am constantly moving. I mean, my home is right where I'm sitting right now, technically. So it could happen. I mean, I try to keep an open mind for everything, so I'm pretty much open to pretty much everything. I'm 18 right now, probably 19 or 20 because I don't drive. I was homeschooled all my life, so that's kind of an unfair advantage in some aspects because I definitely had a lot more time to play disc golf. Just, I loved my schooling. My dad taught me, and my grandparents lived in my hometown, so I was always over there. My grandpa has a PhD in physics, so I was a great teacher. Just, it was overall a positive experience, and did my assignments and then went practice putting in the backyard, so it was really great. Be open to anything. Be open to anything.
And welcome back. We are here on the Beast hole number 15. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, joined by Cameron Frymark. And Cameron, This is one of the 2 par 5s we just said, and definitely a very challenging hole. What are players looking at and what can they do here?
Ooh, they can scramble. This, when we first designed this hole, I was out here with Joey, and before it was a hole, you're doing what? And so you need to just throw it down to that lower bowl or just stay in the middle here, because off the fairway is just a throw out, at least one.
Well, we're feeling some raindrops come in, which was certainly going to be a threat today. And a little bit of rain and drizzle feels like it's dropping on us. When you designed this hole, at any point did you think somebody in full-blown pink with ducks on their shorts would ever be playing this hole?
I didn't design it, but I'm a disc golfer, and so that is always a possibility, Terry.
Well, we've got plenty of pink here on this 3rd card, and those are in fact ducks. Let's hope that we stay out of the water and rain, that the ducks don't need to come out. Again, this is what I believe is our 3rd to last card of the day. So they teed off at 2:10. And you were doing the MC duties. What are some of the other things that you've been working on here for this event?
Oh, painting circles and organizing the pub crawl and pulling sponsors in and just about anything Ryan needs me to do.
Well, you guys have a great organization here. Ryan spoke last night of how much the city embraces disc golf and everything that you guys are doing. You talked about the support and the businesses and the pub crawl and what that means. How can people go out and support this event if they're here?
If you're here, go visit our businesses. We've got a pub crawl with 9 holes set up. You can find the event on Facebook, or you can check out any of our sponsors. We have all of their information online. Go spend money at their businesses. Go tell them hello. Go tell them that you're a disc golfer. They would love to see it.
And I think last night we were at the Hippodrome, a 103-year-old theater that's been recently renovated in downtown. Just a gorgeous facility, multiple theaters inside there. Plus we were able to have the players meeting and dinner and drinks and everything else. It sounds like the entire town just really embraces what's going on here.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. The Hippodrome, we went there their opening weekend and saw the Goonies for free. It's fantastic. You can go in there and order a meal and get a beer and watch a movie, and their food's great as well.
Again, this is a challenging par 5, somewhat anticipated a little bit of backup when we were coming out here for the round. There's going to be a par 5 a little bit later in the round here before we get out of the woods. And let's hope that the sun can continue to break through here. I think we're going to be treated to some gorgeous weather throughout the rest of the weekend, though. Have you checked the forecast?
I don't want to jinx this, so I know that it's just going to be fantastic the rest of the time.
All right, I'll buy that for $1. So, in just a few moments, it looks like we might have the 2nd card ready to throw on the tee. And we're hanging out about midway through the fairway right now, trying to watch action from both the 3rd card as well as the 2nd card that hopefully should be ready any moment now. And somewhat congested out here. These are great holes for playing golf. However, the gallery has to keep their head on a swivel. There's a lot of discs coming in, and they can ricochet and bounce in any given direction. Who's on the tee here?
I can't see. I apologize. I need my knocks. I think that's Addison. And it looks like he's going to have a tough up shot from there, but he's on the edge of the fairway, but he's still got a lot to maneuver from there.
No.
I think this is Cody Sigmund. He's out of Austin, Texas. And that's low, but it's in the middle. That'll play.
All right, so some of us are watching both the putting taking place on the green, and we're also commentating here as we're seeing the drives come in. Are you certain as to who the 3rd person is here?
Starts with a J.
We'll go with Jackson.
I think it's either Jordan or Justin. Oh, we need that to flip a little bit more.
And coming in just over our head, how it filtered as far down as it did is amazing.
Yeah, that's down to the bowl. He's going to have a good look at a birdie 4. This is local Matt Sellers. went pretty quickly out of his hand there. I think he kicked out to the middle, but we'll see.
We're going to hope so, as it looks to be very treacherous inside the, just outside of the fairways here, found on this long par 5. We'd like to thank Jomez Productions, who will be, of course, giving you post-produced content here of the card that you're watching today. So if you'd like to tune in tomorrow, early tomorrow morning or late tonight, I know they're hustling and working as hard as they possibly can. They're a 3-man crew putting out the best disc golf post-production content on the planet. Also like to thank UDisc Live and any other supporters and scorekeepers that we find out here helping out with the scoring. It takes an army of people to go out and try and get all of the scores for all of the different groups. So thank you to anyone that has helped support UDisc Live and the Disc Golf Pro Tour by being a scorekeeper out here this weekend. Of course, Matt and Josh over at UDisc. And that one came right at us as we jumped out of the way.
Local route.
Very much a thin local route here. And they're still watching the competitors putt out here on the tail end here of hole number 15. So many of these holes out here just require, well, besides precision, it's just some course management. You really need to know if you're going to miss left or right, or if there's a drop off, or where you need to be. And there's not a lot of room for error out here.
No, not at all. It definitely benefits you to practice this course a few times and figure out where the soft lines are. Ooh.
It's a tree on the right side, which then kicks left center fairway. And that has carried through the tunnel and out into the wider opening here. I'd like to thank Todd Dodge for hustling around this morning, getting the coverage from the women's round from our feature card. He then handed off the footage to Steve Dodge, who then edited it together as I just about got hit. Certainly not anticipating that route. Steve and Todd, the combo, getting the women's footage edited together, provided then to Johnny V over at Smashbox so that we could splice that into our footage here today. A little bit more work to do here on the left-hand side of this fairway. How far are we looking from the pin where we're at right now here, Cameron?
Oh, goodness. I think it's probably about 275 feet from here, maybe 250.
And placed nicely out into the center of the fairway to have a look from there. Cameron, talk a little bit about the team of people that you have that have assembled and come together to help pull off this amazing event.
Goodness, you know, it takes months to plan it, and we've had meetings weekly for so long. And then all the volunteers that come out the day of and spot for us on holes and paint these holes, it's just a real labor of love, and we're so appreciative of our local community for it. And we've got a lot of great people up at the top level, from Ryan directing everybody. He's got a great vision for what this event should be, and guys with years of experience like Joey Harrell, and it's really just a fantastic team. I'm really proud to work with and for them.
Well, so much local support, as well as the amazing support of Dynamic Discs. Of course, we know Jeremy Rusko and the rest of the crew over in Emporia supporting not just the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but specifically this amazing event taking place here in Waco. And now this is known as the Waco Annual Charity Open, and each year there's different benefactors from this event. Talk a little bit about who it is this year.
Sure. Actually, for the past few years, we've been doing the Baylor Autism Resource Clinic. They help get people services for children with autism, or help get them more information. And I want to say that we've done about $10,000 worth of donations over the past few years for them. And actually, the president of the Waco DGA, his son is autistic, so it kind of hits home for us. And so we're happy to do it for him.
Well, a great tie-in, and really no surprise that we have disc golf helping out the community. Of course, disc golf is so beloved by so many players and competitors, but anytime we can also work it into the community as well and stretch that outreach that we have, it's great to see. These guys have a little bit of work here to do. What are they looking at here as they're moving down hole 15?
Well, you know, they're kind of in the middle of the fairway there, but they're going to have to go up a hill and then navigate to the right. The basket is a little bit elevated in there, and it's guarded by some trees on the right. If you go past, there's plenty of brush to get into. It's a pretty tricky green.
And we are not quite clear for our lead card, or our featured card to tee. If they were to navigate all the way down cleanly, they would probably land where the second card is. So we're waiting on the second card to throw their approach shots, or second or third or fourth approach shots, whatever they may be. Wysocki and others being held at the tee as we're watching the competitors here from our second to last card move down. I think we'll see one more shot, and then I think we'll get back to the action. You think things will pick up a little bit after here?
The next hole is long, but it is fairly open. The left is a little rough, but I think most of these guys can navigate that well. This is probably the last backup we'll see until we get to 18.
All right, and in just a few moments, again, we'll be back with our featured card. And I believe we're live and ready to go in just a few moments. Everyone will get back into position. Ricky Wysocki, I see standing up near the tee. He seems to be on the tee. Eagle McMahon also looks to be ready to go. So a very tight, narrow fairway to navigate here, trying to get to the landing zone. What kind of shot are they going to need?
You know, they can just laser something straight down. I usually use a hyzer flip to get the straight flight, but I think these guys might be able to do it with a putter. But ideally, it's going to fly right over our heads and land behind us. Oh, that got a little wide off the fairway. Looked like he was maybe trying to do a little S-curve, and it got too far out on him.
As many of you have experienced, when you're playing at any kind of local tournament, you know that sometimes after a 5 to 10 or 12-minute backup, you may be a little bit tightened up, or... Oh, and we're seeing Ricky's shot come in and coming straight toward us. Looked like the weight didn't affect Ricky too much. What it might carry out my thought there. I was saying that sometimes you cool down a little bit, and then you have to walk up to a very tight, narrow fairway. Looks like Ricky didn't have any problems there.
Yeah, this hole has a pretty low ceiling off the tee box, and it's difficult to get a long shot and still keep it low on this hole, especially with the elevation change. It creates a pretty narrow window. Ooh. Looked like he let go of that one a little bit late out of his hand, but it came back out to the fairway.
And they'll move down the fairway as best as they can. Unfortunately, a couple of them had caught trees. So them, like the two groups in front of them that we saw, challenge navigating all the way down here. And if you're not clean on this tee shot, you're definitely going to be counting up a few extra strokes just to get back out to the fairway to make the bend, make the landing zone, and then throw an approach from there. Simon Lizotte is correction. Eagle McMahon is lining up a forehand roller here. Unless he's going to put this on more angle than I realized. It looks like it's going to come out as a roller, but we know he's got a few trick shots in his bag as well. Oh, it looks like it is an air shot. Kicks off the left side and back into the center of the fairway. That's about as good of a kick as he could have hoped for there.
Yeah, that's not a bad position to be. He could still have a look at a 4 from there if he could get around. There's some sky shots from there too.
Lizotte with a forehand coming in. Hits the trees directly behind us here as we're standing down the fairway. Had he navigated past those trees, I think he would have been able to penetrate much further down the fairway. And we're trying to get out of the way here as Addison's forehand roller catches the same set of trees, however, at the stump, then pops straight up into the air and carries another 30 feet.
Yep, that looks like it's going there. There's a few holes over the trees, but you have to be in just the right position. It looks like Eagle found it. And he's getting some claps from the gallery. Very nice.
Hey. Sounds as if that may have even carried deep past the basket. And again, not many people have those types of choices. However, Eagle going up and over. We'll see if Simon looks at any similar routes. I think both Simon and Ricky are looking at each other, wondering which one's going to go first. Which position would you rather be in right now, where Simon is or where Ricky Wysocki is?
Where Ricky's at, he can flick and get around this corner and maybe still for this hole. Where Simon's at right there, I think I prefer that huge spike and hyzer, kind of the opposite of what Eagle just did.
And Wysocki's forehand hits the left side of the fairway, kicks down into the right. Simon's going up and over.
And that looked like it's coming in nicely. I think it's panning out maybe a little bit early. He might find himself on the left side of the basket fairway down there. And we're getting some claps, though.
Sounds as if he's just inside the circle, pin high left.
And hopefully we get a skip up. Oh, ouch. Sorry, Addison. That went off the fairway a little bit. He can still have a putt from there. It's probably not too bad, but he's going to have to scramble a little bit.
Again, thank you guys for joining us for the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. We're glad you are here on this Thursday afternoon. A relatively calm, a little bit muggy at the moment. We're looking forward to some great weather for the next few days. Also, a very unique situation that the amateurs are playing Friday, Saturday, and wrapping up on Sunday. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We wanted to give them a chance to come out and watch the pros play each day. And so they'll finish early in the afternoon and come out and catch the lead card every day, and we'll have a huge gallery.
Ricky Wysocki is approximately 45, maybe 48 feet from the pin with a very obstructed lie. And Ricky has to opt for the left route here just to take all of the trees out of play, realizing that he did not have a good line at the basket, played smart, threw it up toward the left side and finished 15 feet up the pin.
How far are you outside? On the line. So Addison, you, me.
I think it's really me.
Yeah, you first.
I'm trying to figure out how to get to it.
Eagle stays inside. Eagle's on the line. I'm not sure.
And looks like Addison will be, he's trying to get a good position here. He's in a very difficult spot. He looks to be about 38, maybe 40 feet from the pin. Slightly uphill, very obstructed. And throws an upside down Scooby just to try and get to the pin and slide up toward the basket. He's on the right side. Solid attempt, however, very, very congested inside there. And now we see Simon Lizotte just a step inside the circle 1 indicator, looking at 32 feet. And a applause from the gallery. Solid putt by Lizotte. Wysocki with 15 feet. And I think all competitors are more than excited to be done here with this par 5, hole number 15. And Addison is in. We'll be back with you in a few moments from hole 16 right here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And welcome back, as we were just seeing Ricky Wysocki throw his tee shot. I believe we are here on course hole number 16. Just a few left in the woods. What are they looking at here on hole number 16?
Keeping it in the middle. It's not too bad if you turn it over a little bit, but what you do not want to do is what's happening right there, hyzering out. That right side is bad. It is one throw out at least. It might be two. You can't do anything from in there. Looks like he just threw a stroke away.
So fairway is certainly key here on hole number 16. This is a little bit more open than what we've seen on the previous few holes. However, you still want to make sure you find the short grass here in the fairway. This is Eagle McMahon, and that was not his best effort.
No, a little high off the tee. He's got a, what's that, about a 450-foot look. He's got the arm to get there, but he's got a few trees to navigate on the way.
And Addison shot is low, maybe a little self-correction from what he just saw from McMahon. We'll be back in a few moments. We've got coverage from the women from earlier today. And welcome back to hole number 16. A moment ago we saw Eagle McMahon throw his approach shot to just inside the circle one painted circle. He'll be about 30 feet from the pin. Addison lining up a forehand. And after A little bit of cabbage here on the right side of the fairway. He actually rolls right over Eagle McMahon's disc, touches it, and then comes up just short of the circle one line, just inside of it. And Ricky with a little too much angle, that's going to cut roll on him. He's sitting outside of the circle two flags, approximately 72 feet from the pin. And Cameron, you mentioned that any shots going off of the left or right side may cause an extra stroke or two just to get out. That's where we see Simon Lizotte at the moment. And he looks somewhat perplexed as to what in the world he's going to do from there.
Yeah, from the tee box, the right side is more forgiving, but the left side, even just a half a foot off the fairway, can just be a toss out. It's a pretty difficult, gnarly rough.
We know Simon has plenty of tricks in his bag. It looks like he's at least 15 to 20 feet off of the fairway.
And I'm disappear for a minute, but there's also a slope down there, so it's not only in thick stuff, but downhill.
In just a moment, I think we're going to see him simply toss out to the center of the fairway and hope to just be able to get up and down from there to save his par 4. Lizotte challenge looks like it's coming in upside down and right in the fairway, right where you want to be.
Yep, he's going to be able to clean his par up from there unless we see something awesome.
Lizotte will still be out, looking at approximately 110 feet from the pin. Long running jump putt. More than enough power. You were looking for something awesome. You almost got it.
Yeah, I saw him grin, and I could tell he was giving it a good run.
And Wysocki from 72 feet with a slight turnover spin putt. One of the few people in the world that can switch up his putting style within a round, and he cashes in from 72 feet.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see birdies on this hole, but they're not from that far away. Looks like got right side chains there.
And a solid putt there by Eagle McMahon. Simon Lizotte's got a little bit of work to do to clean up. However, we have a gallery trying to get into position. And barely sneaking in there is Lizotte. Addison will then clean up from inside 10 feet. And we're going to move on to what will be hole 17 here at the Beast. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here from Waco, Texas, the Waco Annual Charity Open. And hole number 17, 279 feet. Ricky hits a tree on the left side that then kicks him left.
That's high. We just need that to come back a little bit, and looks like oh yeah, gonna be in the circle up there. Looks like he's hugging the right side of the fairway and got caught up a little bit. Beautiful. Looks right up the middle. It's going to scoot up that hill. Fantastic shot, Addison. Very nice.
Let's see what the women did here on the par 3, 279 foot, hole 17. And Lizotte's approach puts him within 28 feet of the pin. And update, Lizotte closer to 25 feet than 28. And Wysocki getting a very unfavorable kick, which pushed him left of the basket. He's about pin high. It looks like he may only have somewhat of a forehand shot. Not sure he's got quite the position here. He may go to one knee. Very obstructed view here off to the left side of the pin. And Ricky Wysocki making it look easy from wherever he is. It doesn't matter. And a little dance on the left side of those chains. The veteran basket pulls it in here. And Simon's going to save his par. And Eagle second guessing his grip or possibly his release. And a flustered Eagle McMahon will put in for his 3. Addison looking at a birdie opportunity. And the hometown crowd approves. We're moving on to hole number 18 in just a few moments.
And Ricky Wysocki making it look easy from wherever he is. It doesn't matter.
Sun King Discs, established in 2001. Florida's most respected name in disc sports. Official retail merchandiser of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Currently on tour supporting Discraft and DGA live inventory, free shipping at $12. All orders $19.99, ships in a box, includes single discs, large selection of both stock and collectibles. Check out the website at www.sunkingdiscs.com.
And welcome back, everyone, to our live broadcast here of the opening round of the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, joined by MC and hard worker extraordinaire, Cameron Frymark. Cameron, what are we seeing as discs are coming in, flying over our head here on this 18th tee?
Well, I think Matt might have just missed one of the two mandos. They've created some mandos along the corner there to keep people from just throwing out to that open field, because that would be way easier. We want to force people down here, but we did have one go over our heads, but we need to see him get in the middle. This one looks okay. That's not awful.
All right, well, we have all four of our competitors here. This is the second to the last card that teed off today, just in front of our feature card. There was some conversation that's taken place as to feature cards versus seeing where our top-rated players all stack up. They were sporadically placed throughout the entire opening round here today. There's a lot of conversation that usually goes and surrounds that, the feature cards, stacked cards, whatever you want to call it. What's your take on that?
I don't think it matters at all who you play with or what happens. Your own game is your own game. And now that we've got all of this tracking, Steve could do a study to see if it actually has an effect, if people play better when they're on the lead card or not. I don't think it matters much.
Well, speaking of cards, just a few moments ago, we were standing next to Eagle McMahon and Simon Lizotte. I didn't screw that up. That was both of them standing next to us. And I think they were trying to clarify if they missed a hole in their handwritten scores. Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah, it sounded like Simon was thinking when he got the card passed off that maybe he didn't score a hole. But they've got, thanks to UDisc, we've got a score up there, and they can go check against that, and nobody's going to be penalized, and there will be no problems.
Let's hope. There's been far too many scorecard issues with Ricky Wysocki on the card. Of course, had two mishaps that took place last Disc Golf Pro Tour event at the Memorial Championships, and hopefully they'll get everything situated here before the round continues. We're a little more than halfway through the round. This is the last incredibly wooded hole, as we see a pancake shot come from outside of the woods. This will be the last wooded hole, and then we're going to move into holes 1 through 6 if you were playing the course in a traditional fashion, and much more open and a little bit more sparsely treed, if that's in fact a term. Cameron, did I hear you say earlier that is that Matt Sellers? That is
Yeah, he's a local, and that's his girlfriend they're caddying for him. Shout out to all the ladies who take care of their men in that way. Matt's not easy to take care of, but she does it.
All right, so a little inside high maintenance info here. We're looking at more than 500 or 600 feet here. Set up hole 18 for everyone.
The tee box says, I think it's less than 600 feet, but once you play this hole, it feels like an 800-foot hole. The way that it plays downhill, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 curves. And even when Joey talked about putting the hole in, he talked about making the basket even further back. But this is a monster hole. If you want to see a textbook execution of it, you can watch the Texas State's coverage with Bradley Williams, where it's forehand up shot, a turnover, S-curve shot to the basket, and then a drop-in putt. But I've never seen anybody else ever do that before.
And there seems to be a conversation. I'm not sure what it is involving. I think they may be talking about footing.
Doesn't like those ants there.
Oh, sounds like there may be some ants. Our relatively new cameraman, Rick, found himself a few Texas ants earlier today, so definitely need to stay out of those.
got a nice S-curve going up, and that might skip the hill a little bit. Hopefully it sticks. And a little bit of a roll. Ooh. He won't be able to see the basket from there, but he may be able to get one up to it from there.
Seems as if all the dark colored clouds have passed by. Nice white fluffy ones are ahead right now as I'm trying to gain my words here, trying to think. I don't have any cloud terminology. I think we have to rely on people like Madison Walker to let us know what kind of clouds are going on out there. We hope you are enjoying, in fact, the women's coverage that's been spliced in throughout the day. I've been notified that we should have all 18 holes of their play, so thank you so much again to Steve Dodge along with Todd Dodge for helping make that possible, getting that out to Johnny V. We'll check in with the scores that we're finding on UDisc here today. I won't spoil anything on the women's side, but let's talk about the men's side, where Jeremy Colling shot a 13 under par. He is currently in the lead. James Conrad shot an 11 under par. Dave Felberg and Greg Barsby both tied at 10 under par, along with Mike Conley and Landon Knight. Miles Seaborn, no surprise, sitting up there in a 7th place position right now at 9 under. And tied for 8th, we've got a number of people, including our 2001 world champ Cam Todd, Cameron Messerschmidt, Lance Brown, all tied for 9th. And it looks like we are back and ready to go. Our featured card is going to be teeing in just a few moments. Ricky Wysocki and the rest of the card. Ricky looks like he's lining up a backhand, and I gotta say, one of the best forehanders in the world. Kind of odd that he's lining up a backhand shot here. What in the world is he doing?
Yeah, I agree, Terry. There is a backhand shot, usually with something slow or slightly understable, a putter or maybe a buzz or something like that. But really, the forehand is the best shot for this hole. You get the furthest down the fairway, and just the angle of the hole really favors it. So I'm surprised as well. Oh, my goodness.
And Ricky going way up and over. We're going to do our best to track that. That's hit on the right side, and it stays up and high right if you're looking down the fairway. Certainly unconventional, I can tell by your response, but did that have a chance?
So I think that he was trying to clear the mando trees to get out to that field that we were talking about out there. That's kind of what it looked like, because that was way too high to try and be advancing the fairway down there.
There is a mandatory tree almost immediately off of the tee here, and we see a nice, gentle lefty shot here by Addison. This sets up really nicely for him. The approach shot should also set up nicely for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Another lefty hyzer ought to be what he's doing. An eagle with the more traditional flick on this hole. He'll get a good skip and stay out in the middle. I'm really surprised by that shot by Ricky.
And we see Eagle McMahon, center of the fairway, about as good of a shot as you could throw off the tee here. Simon Lizotte going with a gentle turn. I believe that's his MD3. And also a nearly perfect shot right into the center of the fairway. They're going to move on down. We're going to be back with you in a few moments after you watch the women's shots here on hole number 18. And welcome back as we are in the fairway of hole number 18. Up near the pin, we're watching the second to last card throw their final few approaches and putts. Ricky Wysocki back here on the earlier part of the fairway is determining what he's going to do. He wanted to clarify there are actually 2 mandatories on this hole, and he was clarifying that he's in fact made it past both of them. He might be trying to shoot out to the opening here on 18. I think you were right about your assessment earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. It is messy where he's at right there. And even if he were to get down to the fairway here, there's still a long way to navigate to that basket. Whereas out, if he can just punch out there, it would be an easy drop in from the field to where the basket is.
Well, Ricky Wysocki is definitely playing this not down the fairway. He is up on the right-hand side where there's just not enough cameras out here to attempt this. Ricky is going to play out and take what some may consider an alternative fairway. He's lining it up. He's got to hope that he can just get out, because he could spend a stroke or two just trying to find that outside fairway.
I see it. It's up there. Okay, we're just making sure you know.
Yeah, the group is clarifying him as to if there is a second mandatory here, and Ricky, this may impact Ricky's decision making here. Looks like he may not be going out toward the opening, and instead he's going to play more down the traditional fairway. Again, his card mates looked at the caddy book and just wanted to make sure that he knew of it. I thought that was very kind of them. And a forehand, overhand, I should say, coming out by Wysocki, which is going to place him right into the center of the fairway. And Addison is going to move just a few feet down the fairway. He connected with a tree directly in front of him. And the forehand roller we've seen before seems to work. That's going to put him up and over the hillside.
Yeah, he went up a little bit to the right side of the hill. He will have a look at the basket. Might be a little bit obstructed there from there. He got a good kick at the end. There was a little bit high, and he needed a little bit more turn out of it, but he's still going to have a good look at the basket. Maybe it's 80, 90 feet from there.
Earlier you mentioned that there were 2 par 5s out here on the course. This, of course, being the second one and the final of the day.
Yeah, this was another hole that was added when we had to do a redesign a few years ago, and it was another one where you're just scratching your head asking Joey, where's the basket going? This is a disc golf hole, and it's really turned into a beautiful thing.
And Wysocki going for the small gap up in the sky, not something I think many of us were anticipating. And we'll have to see where that finishes.
It looked like he carried maybe a little bit too far to the right and a little bit short. Yeah, he's going to have a good look at a 3 on that. That's great, especially on this par 5. Eagle is going to look at an eagle.
And although I cannot confirm it, I have caught word that Nicola Castro had been involved in some form of a car accident earlier today. So if you're looking at the UDisc live scoring, you see that he was par plus 4 for the first 4 or so holes of the round. Hopefully, well, we know that if he came out here and completed, he must be of at least some sound, safe and sound capacity of body and mind. We wish the best for Nicola Castro. Maybe we'll catch up later and see if we can learn more information about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear any details about that, but he did miss his tee time, and I believe, yes, after the 4th or so hole, somebody was able to get him to his correct hole and get him to play.
And unfortunately, bleeding strokes at the moment. Addison is ready to get off of hole number 18 here as this has continued to eat him up. We're moving down the fairway, and we're going to move into much more open areas here in the remaining 6 holes of the round. And Addison's attempt from 68 feet is short and left. And we'll see if Ricky's got any more magic in him. He goes big off the tee. He has to pitch out. Then he goes big on his 3rd shot. Is there any possible way he could be still rewarded with a birdie here?
He can try. I'm not looking at, he looks a little hairy over there, but it's Rick Wysocki. We've already seen some amazing things from him today.
We may see a modified horseshoe putt. Ricky is really good at analyzing all of the different routes and positions before he attempts a putt. We saw him switch up his putting stance earlier. And now we're going to see a patent pending 1-knee putt by Wysocki for approximately 40 feet. And a great run by Wysocki. That was left of the chains but had the perfect height, just a bit off. Simon Lizotte looks to be about the same distance, maybe a foot or 2 inside of where we just saw Wysocki. He's on the left side, approximately 38, maybe 40 feet as well. Putting from 1 knee. And just off the top of the basket.
Yeah, eagle threw one of the best drives I've seen on this hole ever, and now he's going to be putting for an eagle 3. It's very impressive.
Very impressive. Eagle 3, how often do you see those out here?
I take that back. I've seen one. The very first time we came out and designed this course, we set a temporary basket. We played Wolf, and somebody got a 3, but it was a group effort. But personally, in person, I've never seen one before. I've just seen video of it. I'm very impressed.
And no surprise there by Eagle McMahon with his impressive efforts. Here's Addison to clean up. And we're going to have a lengthy walk here as we move off of 18 and over to hole number 1. You're watching first round coverage from right here in Waco, Texas. We'll be back in a few moments after a word from our sponsors.
Dude, foot fault.
What?
Move your foot, dude. Foot fault.
Sorry.
You never know.
And welcome back. We are here on what is known as hole number 1 of the Brazos Park East Disc Golf Course. This is listed as a par 3 at 555 feet. Eagle McMahon with the eagle on the previous hole will have the honors. As we feel the wind pick up, it's at our back at the moment. And Eagle is waiting, I believe, for the card to clear out on the green here of hole number 1. And it looks as if from the tee we're seeing the second card throw their final few putts here on hole 1.
The Eagles laying a roller down, and it needs to stay left. It looks like it might be going a little bit right. I know it's way down there, but no signal from the gallery. And Simon with a nasty kick, but he's got the distance to get to the basket still from there. Ricky making a last-minute disc change to pull the roller out of the bag, and this is looking very nice. It just needs to hook up. And he is down there. Very nice.
Good throw, good throw.
Got Addison lining up the hyzer flip shot with the destroyer. And he clears the trees and makes it through with a crush.
We'll catch up with the women from hole 1 from earlier today. And welcome back. We were seeing Simon Lizotte throw a forehand approach shot and coming in nicely just to the right of the pin as we feel the stiffest wind of the afternoon. It is currently at our backs. It will be for the next 2 or 3 holes, I believe, before they come into the teeth of the wind on the last 2 holes, holes 5 and 6. I think it's safe to say, Cameron, we're going to see the gallery continue to grow throughout the last few holes of the day. We're now in the afternoon here on Thursday, and plenty of people are out here to watch the action.
Yeah, it's gorgeous outside, and this course, especially the front, really sets up for gallery action. There's plenty of space. You can sit in one spot and watch multiple holes. It's going to be nice.
And just light on the effort is Addison from also the left side. Wysocki's roller has put him to approximately 85 feet. He's looking about 20 feet outside the circle 2 edge. And with that tailwind pushing down, Wysocki gives a little bit of a smile and a chuckle. He knows he was pretty close to being online, but that tailwind just pushed that down right out of his hand. looking for a clarification. I believe that eagle was in fact out of bounds. He is just outside the circle 2 indicator. And it kisses off the lower portion of the veteran basket. He's going to be taking a 4 here. All of the players look to be inside 15 feet for cleanup. Not a hole that you'd necessarily anticipate a 2, but looks like no one here got the bonus.
The length of it is just a little bit too long for people to really reach. There have been a couple of 2s, usually as throw-ins or super long putts, but it's kind of a tweener hole in my opinion.
All right, we're going to move on. Short walk, but we'll be back in a few moments with just a few to play.
If I lay up, I get a personal best. But if I hit the putt, it's a new course record. And welcome back to hole number 2 here on the Beast course. Zucca cart featuring our triple mandatory as Simon Lizotte is on the tee.
Looks like he threw that a little bit too wide. He's going to regret not getting a 2 on this hole, with being such a shorty. Ricky throwing it as wide as he needs to. He got a little skip, and he is parked. Great shot. And Addison throwing a hyzer flip with a putter up the gut, and looked like he has some good carry. As you probably guessed, this triple mando is not a normal feature of this hole, and it's usually an easy hyzer on either side, and it's really forcing these guys to take some tighter lines.
Let's see what the women did earlier right here from hole number 2. And from Circle 2's edge, drawing metal. Great run there by Addison.
Yeah, great run, real heartbreaker. That was looking pretty the whole way.
Cameron, please remind us if everyone wanted to come out and partake in some of the action around Waco here tonight, what would they need to do?
Yeah, so tonight we're going to be doing the Festival of the Discs at 7 p.m. here at Brazos Park East. You can park down by the horseshoe pits, kind of near Whole Fours Basket, and we'll be having some competitions. Also, the pub crawl is continuing until tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, so you can go to this evening or tomorrow during the day and take some selfies and bring me some receipts and win $100.
I like $100 as they clean up. We're moving on. We'll be back in a few moments.
Having trouble finding the discs you're looking for? Disc Golf Center has you covered. Your premier online retailer of disc golf discs and accessories features a live inventory of over 20,000 discs with the exact weight and color you're looking for. Take advantage of our free shipping within the U.S. on all orders over $12 and our customer rewards program. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
As a PDGA-approved, championship-level disc golf target, the Dynamic Discs Veteran Basket is a great solution for your most durable basket demands. Starting with galvanized metal components, followed by a powder coating application, ensures that the elements will not compromise the functionality or aesthetics of your new basket. Equipped with an industry-first 18/8 stainless steel chain assembly, these chains will look and sound great for years to come. A proven name with a great product at a great price. Enlist the Dynamic Discs Veteran for your course today.
Paul's probably doing a monster here or something like that.
Whoa.
Whoa, okay. Or that. That.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Here or something like that.
Whoa. Hello everyone and welcome back. We are on hole number 3, measuring in at 558 feet. Road is OB on the left hand side, and of course over the fence on the right hand side is also OB. Ricky Wysocki is on the tee and ready to go. And the wind was pushing that down. What's going on out there?
It's pretty common to have a tailwind on this hole. If you get the right angles, it'll push it, but if you're not adjusting for it, it'll knock it out of there. It also plays a little bit uphill. It's hard to tell from the tee.
And Eagle McMahon is going to be teeing second. Again, sees that slight tailwind.
And there's a bomb. It looks like he's going to clear. Oh, it looks like he's right on the edge of the barrier right there.
And Simon Lizotte looked to be giving that full power, and the wind is just mashing that down. He gets a great skip, and the gallery likes it.
I think he's in between the two circles right there. That's pretty impressive.
The lefty has a little bit more room here on this left side. However, it looks like it's pushing right, and he should find himself inbounds. The women were out here on hole 3 a little earlier. Let's see how they played it. Cameron, some people may be confused thinking this might be an OB area, and it is in fact not. Just a, well, what's going on in here? This looks to be some kind of an electrical area?
Yeah, it's basically just designed to keep people from running over the curb here and taking out the electrical fences, but we don't use it as OB or anything like that. It really just gets in the way just a little bit depending on your height and your shot.
Standstill putter shot by Addison. Finds himself just a few feet from the pin. McMahon is inside the circle 2. I'll give him about 6 feet inside that. Quick math at home will tell you that's about 60 feet from the pin then. And he was chasing that down. He thought he had a chance at it.
Yeah, he had a pretty direct tailwind, so if he just pops it up in the air, it ought to come right down for it. Simon misses his putt, but this is going to be easy threes for all of these guys.
And Wysocki is into the heart of the chains. Eagle looking for some cleanup. And with authority, punches in. Some fans, I think that was the disc golf boy, screaming in the background. And Addison will tap in. We got a brief walk. We'll be back in a few moments. You're watching the opening round here at the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs.
Disc Golf Center has moved to beautiful DeBerry, Florida, just down the road from the River City Nature Park Disc Golf Course. If you're in the neighborhood, come by and check out our spacious showroom and storefront. You'll have direct access to our live inventory of over 20,000 discs, so you can get exactly the weight and color you're looking for. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
And welcome back. We are here on hole number 4, measuring in at 585 feet. We've seen a number of promoters, sponsors, companies, and enthusiasts out here taking in all the action live today. We're glad you could join us on the internet. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 2:30 Central. Also check in with us for the final round on Saturday as we bring you the conclusion here of the Waco event. I'd like to thank Dynamic Disc, the presenting sponsor of the tournament, also a huge sponsor and supporter of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I know you worked with a number of sponsors. It's got to be interesting, dynamic, pardon the pun, to work with both the Pro Tour sponsors who are so generous in doing everything that they do, as well as your local sponsors. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a neat mix because you need both aspects. You know, our the Pro Tour sponsors help us make the courses look great with the feathers and really give it a really clean, professional feel. And then we need the local sponsors to be able to bring the cash that gets our pros here, and not just cash, but merchandise and all volunteer hours, all people sponsor in all kinds of ways. And so it's a great mix to have, and I'm really proud and happy for the partnership.
Yeah, and I don't want to harp too much, but you said pub crawl, right? Is that what's going on? And you don't necessarily have to partake in terms of alcoholic beverages. You can just go there and get a selfie or patronize the establishment in any other way.
So you can score a par just by going in and taking a selfie. You can get a birdie by bringing me a receipt. All of the businesses sell soda or food or things that aren't alcohol if that's not what you want. But they also all do serve alcohol too. And so you can go and sing some karaoke tonight, or you can go watch some live music, or, you know, all of the places have things going on, and we would love for you to go and say hello to them and tell them you're playing disc golf.
Wysocki lining up a backhand roller. I think he's going to be ready to go here on hole number 4.
Yeah, I would imagine probably all of our righties are going to be throwing rollers on this hole, especially with the tailwind. It's the best way to get distance on that downhill shot. And that is way down there. Great shot, Rick. And another roller. I don't know if he rolls his PD2s. I would need to do a DDX for that shot. And it looks like he might hit the bathroom, and he did. I don't think there's any OB sidewalk right there. He should be fine. Simon keeping it in the air. That's surprising. There's some sidewalk over there to the side where he just threw, but it looks like he's coming on the inside of it and crushed it. My goodness.
And a little later we'll check in with Nico LaCastro's post on Facebook with his accident. But first, let's get to the women who were here on hole number 4 a little earlier. And welcome back, everyone. As we're moving down the fairway with just a few holes to play, we can in fact confirm the news that we heard earlier that Nico LaCastro had been in a car accident. According to his Facebook, he says, "I got wrecked into by a Charger right before the first round of the Waco Charity Open. Took 7s and 8s on the first 3 or 4 holes. Luckily, I did not get injured very much. Neither did my good friend Nick Gregory, who's been traveling with me." So says he's not going to let it bring him down, and he'll be out here fighting the rest of the weekend to make a climb and play his best. So best wishes to you, Nico.
And he gave that a good run, and that's going to be an easy drop in 3 on this hole. I'm excited to see where Simon's shot landed.
McMahon has come up short of the bathroom structure, and will be about 8 feet from the pin. Ricky Wysocki is approximately 4 feet, maybe 5 feet behind the Circle 2 indicator. Again, a little quick math at home. We'll give you 71 feet. We'll call it that. See if Ricky can convert. And Ricky off the front of the basket for the very long attempt. Simon is approximately 25 feet closer than what Ricky was. He looks to be about 38 feet from the pin, maybe 40. And top left side of the basket. He cannot convert. Again, twos can't be too common here.
Not at all. On this nearly, I think it's a 560-foot hole that plays slightly downhill. It's not common at all. It's a throw-in when it happens, rarely a putt.
And we'll watch our players tap out as we move on. We just have 2 holes to play during the opening round. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf right here with the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Moments. We have those memories. They're life-changing. They're pivotal. To me, it's really about a life well lived. We make something that at its best has the opportunity to be a part of those moments with people. You decided that we were welcome to be a part of that moment. We weren't even there, but something we do and that we labor really hard to make sure it's really nice and is beautiful gets to be a part of these other people's memories, and that just feels like a gift.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And welcome back. Par 4, 640 feet. Ricky Wysocki on the tee.
Yeah, we added some teeth to this hole and moved the basket back and down about 200 feet onto a peninsula with water and OB surrounding, and Ricky's laid it up to about where the old basket was. It sets up an easy forehand from there. There is an opportunity to throw over the rough and attack the basket for a birdie two, or an eagle two, but I think with this wind it's unlikely we're going to see that today.
Eagle McMahon getting the red flag. He is out of bounds, and he was out of bounds very early. He's got a lot of work to do here to complete this hole. Here comes Simon Lizotte, up and over. And Lizotte's going to need that to sit down. The wind is pushing it hard. And that is OB.
And we have a cheating lefty here throwing just a nice easy lefty hyzer, and he's exactly where you want to be for an upshot. That was a great shot.
Taking advantage. Let's see what the women did here on hole number 5. And welcome back. Eagle McMahon has gotten himself a mark here after going OB off the tee shot. And Eagle's currently being held up by the spotter, giving him a red flag, indicating that it is not clear to throw. I'm also going to be joined here briefly by Disc Golf Pro Tour Director Steve Dodge. Steve, how are things going out here today for you?
He just got a green flag, Terry. I wonder if he's going to get another. Yes, he gets another green flag, Terry. That was a pretty nice upshot. He should be able to save his, what is that going to be, a 5?
Something like that.
4 or 5?
He's got a little work to do, is what you could say. Eagle McMahon, one of the, obviously the furthest throwing people out here, and going OB so early on this hole is going to leave for some challenge. We knew that we'd be coming right into the wind. The last few holes have had a tailwind, and now we're going exactly opposite direction of them. And hole 17 and 18, I'm sure, did not play out too easily today for most of our competitors.
There were a lot of big numbers on these holes, and these guys are no exception. Addison had, I think, the nicest drive here as being a lefty.
And Lizotte is going out and around. And we need, unfortunately, it looks as if some of our spectators here are getting a little over anxious, and certainly need a little bit of crowd control out here. It's great to have so many people out here. However, we'll have to see if we can make sure everyone stays out of the camera's direction. And Wysocki's able to take this out over the OB water that's coming in toward the pin. And just past it, we'll see there's not a flag to indicate down there as to whether or not he's inbounds. And an approach to inside the circle 1.
Looks like we've got a decent-sized gallery witnessing Addison's beautiful upshot. He's going to have a good look at a birdie 3 on this hole.
And we'll continue to move at least partially down the fairway here. Just one hole left to play. Very challenging finishing 2 holes that we have here today. Again, 2:30 Central Time. We hope to see you tomorrow for our leader card coverage. We'll also be able to mix in the women's leader card action taking place. As of right now, I'll take a look to udisclive.com. Check in with the scoring. Jeremy Colling holding on to the lead right now, currently at 13 under par in the clubhouse. Ricky Wysocki is through 16 holes and sits at 11 under par, which is also where James Conrad is at the moment. James is in the clubhouse with his 11 under. Eagle McMahon tied for 4th place right now, currently at 10 under par. And Wysocki, not a problem here. And high but in for Eagle McMahon. Solid birdie there for Addison.
Yep, cheating lefties love this hole.
And Eagle is in. We've got a lengthy walk back up to our final hole of the day. We'll be back with hole 18 during our opening round.
Achieving greatness requires hundreds of days of preparation, which is why the people at Vibram have worked for over 3 years to make their first ever distance driver the longest and straightest in the game. Introducing the new Vibram Lace, helping you achieve your greatness.
thank you guys for joining us here today during our opening round of the Waco Annual Charity Open. I'd like to thank Cameron Frymark for walking along and commentating with me today. I think Cameron at no point miscalled. We're hearing a beeping car. Cameron at no point mistaked Eagle for Simon or Simon for Eagle. Again, I apologize. I don't even know that I'm doing it. Apparently I did it on as we closed out the final hole, or I'm sorry, hole 17 today. It's been a long day, but you're the one that's really been working hard. Why don't you screw up?
You know, I get it that all tall, thin guys look alike, but no, it's okay, Terry. It's not so bad. It's easy to mix them up.
All right, and it sounds as if you're going to get a gallery applause for the horn that has finally quit beating in the background. Addison will be first on the tee. He carded the 3 on the previous hole, the only person to do so. Ricky and Simon both carded 4s, and Eagle McMahon with a 5. All 4 of our competitors have already shaken hands, as is customary during just before the final hole of a disc golf round. Some have questioned as to why that's done. I think just good sportsmanship and camaraderie. Looks as if Ricky Wysocki has dialed in the spinning disc on a finger move. I think he's been working on that. I think he's deep in thought at the moment as well. He's had a very solid opening round here today, trying to hunt down the leader card. I think we're going to for sure see him there, barring a crazy finish. Second card is still clearing out on the final hole here of the round. Again, Big Germ in at 13 under par. Ricky Wysocki and James Conrad currently both sitting at 11 under par. Felberg, Barsby, Conley, and Landon Knight all sitting at 10 under. Eagle McMahon, Miles Seaborn, Gavin Rathbun all sitting at 8 under. That means we will likely see Big Germ and James Conrad for sure tomorrow here on the lead card. And being able to take advantage of the lefty route, we see out and right in the center of the fairway.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit harder for him to attack the basket with his lefties. A little easier on the righties. I imagine we'll see Eagle and Simon go for it. Looks like Ricky's just playing up to the peninsula down there. Very nice.
And Lizotte trying to carry over the water, and he's done just that.
I think he wanted it to be a little bit more hyzer on that, but the wind really put a move on it.
And Eagle may have made a slight adjustment. This thing's carrying far.
Yeah, that's a crush. He's inside the circle on this 492-foot hole. Very nice.
Beautiful shot there by Eagle McMahon. We're going to move down on our final hole here of the day. Let's see what the women did on hole number 6. And a forehand flick here by Addison. Finds himself up and just outside the circle indicator, circle 1.
Yeah, I think that was Addison's trusty X1 or H1. It's a prodigy disc. It's a monster. The wind kind of pushed that skip back a little bit, but he's going to have a putt at it.
And with some serious movement on that, Ricky's does not hyzer as hard as he was hoping for. However, he'll find himself with a putt into the wind. Simon is going to make a lengthy walk over to his lie. He found himself on the peninsula. I think it's safe to say that's clearing the water was the objective, but not exactly the way he did it.
Right, he wanted that to probably be about 10 feet higher and a significantly more hyzer angle coming in. I saw him do that same shot in practice, and the wind just really wreaked havoc on his flight.
And that has skipped from inside the circle to at least 45 feet. We'll see if the group will wait for him. He'll still be out after that shot. 3 of the worst words in disc golf: you're still out. However, looks like they will wait. I see Addison just about at circle's edge. I believe McMahon is also just about on circle's edge, and Wysocki is inside of it just barely. So we'll get Simon. This will be his 3rd shot here. And Simon content with a 4 here to finish out the round. And up and over the basket. The wind may have carried that slightly. It's gone toward the OB water. I can't tell if it in fact went OB. And as I stood directly in line with Ricky Wysocki, that was the greatest game of statue I've ever won at. Ricky putting it right into the center of the chains. We'll have to see if Addison went OB or not.
Yeah, I think he might have found some waters, what it looked like. He's taking his meter. Great comeback putt.
Solid putt and recovery. Eagle McMahon currently sits at 9 under par. If he can eagle this, he will move to 11 under par and secure himself a spot on tomorrow's featured lead card. High and left. He gives himself a somewhat sarcastic applause, knowing that he's let one slip by. He's going to go to 10 under par and find himself likely on the second card. Eagle will tap in, and the rest of the card, somewhat dejected, will move off from the hole.
for 4?
All right, well, we've just concluded the day here. The round is complete. Eagle letting one slip by on that final hole. Simon Lizotte, however, finishing with the 4. Cameron, first day here at the Waco Annual Charity Open. Thanks for joining me. What were your thoughts?
I'm glad today's over already, but it's gone smoothly. We've seen, I think, all of the different kinds of weather, which is what you expect in Texas. It was cold this morning and overcast, and now it's sunny and beautiful. And the wind just picked up a lot, which played a lot on that last hole. And, man, I'm so happy to be doing this right now.
Well, thank you for all the efforts, you and your entire team. For the Disc Golf Pro Tour, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here for our live broadcast. I'd like to thank our amazing staff and crew that's out there. We've got Rick and Chad on the cameras, Gary to the O, and Johnny V back at home. For Cameron and myself, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, that was round 1. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon for live coverage right here with the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
G'day, my name's Chris. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our disc stacks. They're disc pan stacks manufactured specifically for disc golf. They basically have 4-way stretch, water repellent material. They have a towel attachment pocket in the front side of each pair of pants. They have zip back pockets. They have enough belt loops to tie you up, and you got reflectors, so for those of you riding to the course on your bike, you'll be safe in the dude pants. We're predicting these pants are going to become legendary. Get yourself some.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.